Hello. To continue my tale, for 7 years I was a pupil of Chatham Girls' Grammar School. Chatham, one of the Medway towns. If you go to Kent and you drive through the Medway towns, Chatham, Gillingham, Rochester, and various other smaller towns, you never have any idea where you're going from one to the other. But if you live there, it's very important. Well, most certainly it was when I lived there, and we're talking about the 1950s. Why should it be important? Well, each of the towns had an individual image. Rochester was, and probably still is, considered posh. Rochester had a cathedral, Rochester has a castle, Rochester had connotations with Dickens. All in all, the people in the Medway towns who consider themselves one above lived in Rochester. Chatham was famous, as I've already mentioned, because it was a dockyard town. Very busy, very bustling, and I lived in Chatham. Gillingham. What did Gillingham have? Well, it had Miss McKinnon's dancing school, which was the dancing school that I attended. But it also had a third division football team. I think it still has a third division football team. So it mattered which of the towns you were in for what on earth you were doing. I had lots of opportunity during my years at Chatham Girls' Grammar School to indulge all the things that I liked to do. I had opportunities to sing, I had opportunities to continue to dance, and I had lots of opportunities to perform in plays and such like. I did encounter some hazards. One of the first major singing engagements I ever had was in Rochester Cathedral, and I was chosen to sing the Christmas recitatives from the Messiah. I was very proud about this, and I would have been about 14 probably. I hope the local reporter who wrote up the event in the local paper couldn't actually see me from where he was sitting, because the report was that the boy treble sang with a clear bell-like quality. Well, I was pleased about the clear bell-like quality, but not over-enthusiastic about being described as the boy treble. And then there was a hazard when you were performing in somewhere like the cathedral as to what to wear. There was an occasion when I was due to sing with the choir, and my cousin Brenda, same sort of age as myself, was due to play in the orchestra. For once, we were not expected to have school uniform, and we were given a sum of money from each of our parents to go and buy ourselves a suitable dress for the occasion. A suitable black dress, and of course I mean one each, not one between us. I chose my black dress quite quickly. I liked it, I could afford it, and I bought it. But we went round shop after shop looking for a dress for my cousin. In the last shop, a rather sniffy vendeuse produced one garment after another, elegant black dresses, until my cousin Brenda said in exasperation, "They're none of them any good. They've all got straight skirts, and I have to keep my legs apart." She failed to mention that she played the cello. In all of the parts that I did in school productions, I really couldn't complain. I did some extremely important and significant parts. Just one snag. They were all male. Chatham Girls' Grammar School. I was tall, I was skinny, I could lower the pitch of my voice if I wished to do so, and I was doomed to be a fella. The only pantomime I have ever been in was while I was at school, and I desperately wanted to have a good part, and on that occasion I actually wanted to be a fella. There's a certain je ne sais quoi about being the principal boy. Short velvet tunics, knee-high boots, long legs in tights, way. No, I wasn't the principal boy. I did get a female part. I was the wicked witch. So, moving on, we arrive at the moment when I am in the sixth form, and I got probably the most symbolic role in straight drama that I have ever had. I was very proud. But what was the part? Well, it was a girl. How wonderful, I was going to be a girl. Yes, but what girl? St. Joan. I spent the whole of that production dressed in hand-knitted chainmail made of garden string which had been dyed grey and then painted with aluminium paint. Not only did it itch appallingly, it ponged alarmingly. However, the part is very dramatic, especially the end. I don't know about you, but I have never watched the Titanic. I won't watch the Titanic because, of course, I know how it ends. And so it is with St. Joan. We know how it ends. It ends with Joan tied to a funeral pyre, burning at the stake. Now, my all-girls school did have a good science department, and one of the staff came up with the idea that she would use lycopodium powder on a metal plate through which an electric current ran, and when warmed, lycopodium powder gives off a dense white smoke, which is lighter than air and therefore rises. This device was manufactured and hidden in the set in the funeral pyre, and at the right moment, as Joan looks towards heavens and prays to her God, the white smoke went up around me, and it was most affecting, and I tried to look suitably anguished and angelic and saintly all at the same time. Not entirely easy when you're dressed in string and aluminium paint and it pongs. The scene went very well. Everyone said so. That is, right up until the last night. Picture the scene. I am on the stage. I am lashed to the funeral pyre. Various of the rest of the cast are around, grieving or gloating, depending on which side they were on. And the fire starts to burn. Yes, well, some idiot had left a door open backstage. The front row of the audience on that night was the great and good of the Medway towns. And that's a lot of great and good, because it wasn't one mayor or one high sheriff, it was 3 mayors and 3 officials and the commandant of the dockyard and the dean of the cathedral, etc., etc., all sitting in a long and erstwhile dignified front row. When the moment of Joan's death knell was tolled, not one wisp of smoke went anywhere near me. It was the front row that died asphyxiated by lycopodium powder gas. I exaggerate, of course. Nobody actually died, but there was an awful lot of coughing, and the end of the evening was not as melodramatic as planned. Dramatic, perhaps, but not melodramatic. I'll tell you some more stories on another occasion. Keep well, keep happy, and I'll try to keep you entertained. Bye-bye.